Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm in a bit of a new setup, as you may have noticed if you watched my previous videos. I'm still sitting in the same position I usually sit in, like in my room, but I angled myself so that I'm facing the light a little different and I'm sitting up closer to the ceiling than I am, or rather than I was before, so I think this lighting in this setup looks a little bit better, but let me know what you think in the comments below. But anyway, today I have the first part of my reading Harry Potter for the first time series. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that I've never read the Harry Potter series. I've also never seen the Harry Potter movies. I'm a disgrace to society, it's okay. Yeah, I recently finished reading the first book, which of course is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So today I'm just going to be giving kind of my first impressions with the novel, my review of the novel, that sort of thing. So if you're interested in hearing what I have to say, as I've read Harry Potter for the first time, be sure to keep watching. So even though I have never read all the Harry Potter books or seen the movies, I do know pretty much kind of what happens to the characters. I don't know everything, I don't know every spoiler, but I know kind of the basics. Like I know who Voldemort was before I read it. Okay, here's a spoiler. I'm sure I don't have to give a spoiler disclaimer because I'm like the only person on planet Earth who hasn't read Harry Potter, but spoiler right now. And then I'll wave my hands and you can look back. Okay, spoiler. I know that Dumbledore dies, I know that Dobby dies, all that kind of stuff. Okay, no more spoilers. Yeah, I just keep up with that sort of thing. I've had friends who've read the series, so reading this book, I didn't get to really read it with fresh eyes, even though there definitely were some aspects that I hadn't known about before, because you can't really know everything until you read the book, of course. Yeah, I really enjoyed the book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was definitely a page-turner for me. I enjoyed it. I didn't find myself particularly bored at any parts. I really loved the beginning, not when we're introduced to the Dursleys, because I found that was kind of the most boring part for me, just because I really wanted to get immersed in Hogwarts and the wizarding world. I think the best part that I enjoyed was when Harry boards the train and gets to meet all of his soon-to-be friends and nemesis, Draco Malfoy, of course. I kind of knew everyone's relationship to one another before reading it, like I've said, but my camera cut off, my bad. But getting to read Rowling's description of these characters was really great because I loved seeing what she had to say as the author, not just kind of what I've heard secondhand and what I've seen based off of different screen caps of the films, that sort of thing. I was worried while I was reading this book because I thought I was going to be able to predict the ending, and I hate when you're able to do that, and I knew that this had been written for a younger audience when it first came out, so I figured maybe there wouldn't be this huge plot twist at the end, but I was pleasantly surprised with the ending. Okay, spoiler, I'm sure you guys know how it ends, but I'm gonna disclaim that every time. I thought Snape was going to be the one who was the bad guy. Of course, Rowling depicted him as the bad guy, so that's what we kind of thought was going to happen, but when it wasn't him and when it was Quirrell, I was honestly surprised. I had no idea that was going to happen, and I think Rowling did a really great job with that, and I really enjoyed that. Okay, spoiler over. I want to say negative things about this book because I really did enjoy it, but to give a fair review, I do have to talk about what I didn't like. So, something I didn't really like about this book in particular was how I feel like in some of the dialogue, Rowling would give some key plot points away, or she would make some connections that maybe the reader themselves could have made. Sometimes you have to let the readers make the connection, and I just didn't enjoy reading the dialogue and the characters making certain connections for me. Granted, it did help in case, you know, you weren't good at making the connections, which sometimes I'm not, so it was helpful, but I don't know. I think that's something I could have did without. The dialogue was one thing that was kind of hit or miss for me in this book. But in terms of the things I loved about this book, I couldn't pinpoint one character I particularly didn't enjoy, whether it was the good guy or the bad guy, because I think these characters are so realistic, and each one has a very distinct way of speaking and acting, and I just really loved that. I absolutely fell in love with Neville. I felt so bad for him throughout the entire book. I also really fell in love with the Weasleys, which I think you're supposed to do, because I feel like that's an important thing. I know something happens to the twins, I don't know, that's what I've heard, but yeah, I really loved getting to know the Weasleys. I thought they were some of my favorite characters, I think, from this book. But yeah, I even liked Draco as much as I hated him. I loved his character. Also loved getting to read about Quidditch. Like, there's so many colleges that have Quidditch teams, and I have no idea how Quidditch works, but now I am informed. I know what it's all about. But yeah, this was just overall a really great book. I enjoyed the writing, and I'm so excited to read the next books. I've just started reading Chamber of Secrets, which of course is the second book. I really did love this, so I hope I love the next one even more. If you enjoyed this sort of review, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like this video so I know you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see what I have to say in the future. Thanks for watching.